Good morning and welcome to Melbourne's most expensive suburb, where the median house price is 5 million trust fund dollars. Today I'm just going to have a little bit of a walk around Melbourne's most expensive suburb, Toorak, and ask some people here what they think of the housing crisis and what we could do to take some steps towards solving it. I've also got access today to a $40 million property here in Toorak, so stick around for that. Let's go check it out. Hi, good morning. Hello, how are you?
There's been a rundown in the construction capability because people have been sucked away to the mining industry.
Caravan places, caravan parks. Why have 100 caravans sitting on a site in Frankston, for instance, at those joints, when people could be put out in caravans or cabins?
God damn it.
We can build a house in 20 weeks, get it built, and then 22 weeks on the land, and it takes us longer to get the planning done through the councils.
Yeah, too many people sitting in boardrooms. Hey guys, how are you?
Fine.
Could I ask you a question for a project I'm doing?
Oh, look, we're in the middle of an argument.
I see. Let me know if you need me to weigh in. What do you reckon we could do to help solve the housing crisis?
Fucking put a cap on rent.
Propping things like first home buyers, those schemes just fuel prices. They don't do anything.
So it's a Monday here in Toorak, but something tells me that there might be quite a few people here that aren't working today.
Housing crisis. Good government.
Do a skid!
On the education end, it should massively increase the number of apprenticeships for building, different branches of building like bricklaying and carpentry and so on. That will take a few years to go. I think government should put a lot of money into low-cost housing and basically contract that to build a lot of low-cost housing, because private sector's never going to do it because there's no money in it.
Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions for a project?
Sorry, I've got to...
I just asked a dude before, I was like, hey, can I ask you a couple of questions for a project? And he's like, oh, I love the project. I don't have time, but I'll watch it tonight. Guess I can't park here.
Decentralisation to the regional cities, and I spent a lot of time in Castlemaine, and I can see I would open that up. I know that doesn't solve the problem, and and improve the rail networks there because they're not so hot at the moment. That doesn't solve Melbourne. The other thing that I never publish here is suburban density levels. They talk about density, but a lot of the suburbs are already hugely developed, and they never publish those, yet they keep proposing the same suburbs have the developments, but I never see any density numbers for the existing suburbs.
So caravan parks.
Yeah, why not?
Do you know what? There actually are that many Porsche Cayennes around here that it would be helpful to have your name on it.
The state government's got to change their tax laws for a start, because a lot of investors are selling, as I understand it, because of the cost of holding a property and the compliance issues. I think that's all part of the issue, which is taking a lot of properties out of the market.
Yes, it is a smelly cigarette. And no one's had any issues so far, so...
Do you rent a flat here?
Yeah. It's nice when you find an old 60s apartment,
100%.
Cheap rent.
It's funny, she's actually not wrong. Everyone thinks Toorak, oh my God, it's this crazy expensive area. And I mean, yeah, it is, but you can rent one-bedroom apartments for like $400 a week, So it's probably cheaper to rent an old sort of like 60s, 70 apartment here than it is in Fitzroy or Collingwood or Richmond even, So yeah, it can be a bit of a misconception that everyone that lives in Toorak is super well off.
I live in Armidale, I live a minute from the station, it's a tram, it's great. I can see why people want to do it.
All right, so now we're going to explore the exclusive residential street of St George's Road in Toorak, and it's where this $40 million property is that we're going to go check out. So let's go have a look at it. Dead set, this place was listed for $39 million. So back in 2013, when a Chinese investor purchased this block of land, it actually already had a house standing on it, and he bought it for about $18.5 million. But just 2 years later in 2015, he knocked the house down, and it's just been a paddock like this ever since. 20 mil? Would you be surprised if I told you it was up for 39 million?
Oh, too much for my pocket.
Pretty pricey, eh? Yeah.
Gee, that's a lot. No, you got to stop immigration first. That's what the biggest one. There's too many people coming through at the moment.
It's a big driver, isn't it?
It's a combine of a lot of stuff.
Yeah. How much do you reckon it would be sensible to reduce immigration by?
That's a tough one, but I think we're pretty much about $1 million or two over at the moment, so I wouldn't go any more for the next 5 years. Yeah, but inflation is high. A lot of people, young ones like yourself, stop having kids. Yeah, that's the main thing. So if you can improve the young ones' lives, maybe it'll change. You don't have so much migration in, and the young couples will have a kid or two.
Do you reckon the property prices in Melbourne need to come down to help people get in, or is there a way to keep it higher and people can still get in?
Obviously, if they come down, but that's a hard one.
Yeah.
That's a hard one. That's supply and demand to a large degree. At the moment, the properties aren't going up much anyway. They're pretty well stabilised overall. Some areas are going up. Apartments, in fact, are coming down.
We've got heaps of thoughts on the housing crisis. Build more homes. There's 6 homes. We can do modular homes. We can do lots of them, but planning permits are the killer. So getting it past the local councils and things like that, they're the ones that hold it up. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
So you're a builder yourself? Is this your company?
Yep.
And do you find it really quite difficult to, like, all the bureaucracy and paperwork to actually get?
100%.
Yeah.
So they've put 7-star energy rating on, which I think is a fantastic thing. They've also put the new livable housing thing in place, which I think is good as well. But that's pushing up the building cost of building. Do you know what I mean? So then it's harder for people to build and get into the game or whatever, because they've got all these extra added costs on their builds and stuff. So, and then the loopholes that you've got to get through, like even putting houses in backyards and that sort of thing. Yeah, it's hard work.
So there you go, that block has been empty since 2015, and just now finally we're putting a house onto it. And if you're looking for a job at the moment, shout out to 6 Homes. He is hiring, and I reckon I'd love to work for that guy. He's super nice. So yeah, shout out to 6 Homes and apply if you're looking for a job.
Oh my gosh, that's so hard. I don't know. Build more houses?
This one's another one here on Toorak Road, right in the middle of Toorak. This block has been empty for about 10 years as well. Makes you wonder who owns it, what are they doing with it? Are they planning to do anything with it? I don't know.
And sure, tenants still have to have good accommodation, but some of the compliance issues are probably over the top, and a lot of the landlords probably can't afford to do that, so therefore they either put the rents up, which takes renters out of the market, or they sell the property.
Check this out, I'm going to take you around the perimeter of this property. Just right here on Stradbroke Avenue, that's a tennis court. It sold for $8 million. We can't afford it right now, honey. Darling, please, I've always wanted to get into tennis.
Hundreds and hundreds of caravans sitting on site trying to be sold. Why doesn't the government sublease them and put people in them rather than having them sleeping on the street? I don't know. Of course, then you've got trouble with people who are on the street who are substance abusers or criminals. Who's going to pay for all that damage if it occurs? So it's a problem.
Here's another one that has just been empty forever, looking back on Street View. Check it out.
Fucking can't be charging $850 a house for a fucking 3-bedroom house. I still live with my parents. I can't even afford to move out.
That is a serious house. Pretty sure Mr. Burns lives there.
I live in Spotswood. Fucking, I was looking at the houses there. Shitty little townhouse, like minimum $700. 1 bathroom, 2-bedroom maybe.
No worries, man. Enjoy your sandwich.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
I don't know the answer, but then I'm not a politician elected to know and well remunerated.
Well, the remunerated politicians don't have much of a clue either. So.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I think the only thing is that the government has to build more houses. And we have to convince people to live in apartments rather than big houses. Yeah. I think that's the long-term change in Australian society. Is that people have to forget about the old Australian dream of a quarter of an acre and a house. They need to get down to like overseas, like London, live in apartments.
That there is another block of land that has been empty for ages, according to an article by Domain. The house next door bought that block when it came up for sale, and apparently it's really common practice in Toorak. So when the block comes up next door, just so people can't encroach on your privacy, they'll just buy the block next door and do absolutely nothing with it. So I guess you could call that land banking.
And one thing you never mentioned is Victoria, the prices aren't going up compared to other states, but because the supply issue has been addressed in the last 10 years, mostly apartments, but it's never mentioned. Basically, it's, oh, nobody wants to live in Melbourne. Well, that's not true, actually.
So yeah, there we have it. That's Toorak's thoughts on the housing crisis. What are your thoughts on the housing crisis? Let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, we recently hit 1,000 subs. That's awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I always wondered whether or not, like, you know, when celebrities say, oh, like, I love I love all my fans. I love making music for fans and stuff. I'm not saying I'm a celebrity, but I love making videos for you guys is what I'm saying. So I really appreciate each and every one of you watching it and, you know, engaging with it as well. I see the same names pop up in the comments. I think that's so cool that we're getting a little community gathered and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what we can do with the channel in the future, and thank you all for being a part of it and supporting it as well. I absolutely love making videos and I love making them for you guys. So yeah, keep watching them, I'll keep making them. I'm also working on a couple of the larger projects, like the few videos I've done on like the tobacco wars and the methadone clinic in Frankston and those sort of ones, those longer form ones where I interview people and there's a bit of research and that sort of stuff as well. But yeah, at the moment, like I've got 2 jobs and I'm doing a master's, so I'm pretty flat out and it's not sustainable. I love making those videos, but yeah, I was really running myself into the ground doing it, so it's not totally sustainable at this point, especially with my coursework picking up. But I do have a couple of good things in the works at the moment, lining up different interviews with people for, you know, different projects, and just doing research in the background, so there is that sort of stuff happening. So I'm really excited. I can't wait to put those videos out and start those projects. So yeah, I really look forward to sharing that work with you guys. So yeah, I'll see you then.